My seminary paper on the separation of church and state and women's rights in the United States. This was a conference finalist. This is part 6. So make sure you like and follow so that you get the other parts. Let's do it. Part 6. The 1900s saw the fruits of the women's labor who fought for centuries leading up to it. Methodist Jovita Idar, a Hispanic activist out of Laredo, Texas, became the first president of La Liga Femenil Mexicanista, or League of Mexican Voters, Female Voters in 1911. The organization advocated for women's access to education and employment. She criticized her local Roman Catholic community for their religious beliefs that suppressed women's political rights. White women gained the right to vote in 1919, and the right of suffrage for all people to vote was won in the Voting Rights Act in 1965, almost 200 years after our country's founding. Native Americans, sadly, were not protected to public worship, use sacred objects, or access sacred sites until 1978's Native American Religious Freedom Act. And other women, like Amina Wadud, a Black Muslim, have continued to fight for the acceptance of Muslim culture and her feminist interpretation of the Quran to empower Muslim women in the workplace. Our founding fathers legislated a democratic, secular nation at its founding. All of these advancements in women and minority rights came from religious pluralism and a secular government. By fracturing any singular tyrannical religious doctrine, the fight for civil equality could emerge, and laws can be crafted by legislators who were decided on by the voters. Otherwise, we are bound by the ruler's interpretation of God and citizen freedoms. Democracy is messy, it's heated, but that's the cost of anything worth fighting for. This is not a spectator sport that can be observed. It's not a form of static government. Women's rights were rolled back after they were granted, and they can come under threat again. Our rights are constantly being questioned and threatened. The privilege of being an American is our freedom. The cost of it is our vigilance. Democracy is bolstered by religious pluralism. The freedoms of women and the marginalized are protected by that democracy. Should we fall into religious tyranny, we will no longer be the great American experiment of democracy, and our government will look eerily similar to that of historic England and Rome. If voting didn't matter, billionaires wouldn't spend money on campaigns, and those in power wouldn't make it hard for people to vote. If religion in America wasn't important, there wouldn't be bodies on the battlefields of both sides wearing their holy symbols around their necks. At every turn, the women's rights movement is denounced as hysterical or heretical, and nevertheless, we persist. Final one is part 7. That's in the next video. I'll see you.